Hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today I'm out checking the mail, doing the exciting stuff. Oh, we got a utility bill. That's no fun. You expect to get a little more than that. Check out Haven. It's like 100 gazillion degrees out here, but Haven doesn't care. She could come into the air conditioning, but does she do that? No. Here she is, check her out. Yeah. I bring her inside, what does she do? She wants to come outside. Oh, got a phone call. Hello? So I figure I'll just sit out here and join Haven in the heat because it is a beautiful sunny day. And, sometimes when we ride, it doesn't look like this. And no, I don't mean it doesn't look like my yard's not been mowed, because my yard hasn't been mowed. How dare you? But anyway, I'll mow it today. And who knows, maybe I'll put that in my next video for proof that I mowed it. That way Coach Vic won't get mad at me. She hates it when the grass gets too high. But with the rain that we have, it seems like this stuff grows faster than I can get it cut. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a better job. I don't know. Today's video is gonna be some pointers about riding in the rain, because every day that we ride doesn't look like this. In fact, on the contrary, it looks more like this. Yep, this is what it looks like. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hop on the old Spyder. We're gonna ride over to my daughter's house. She's having a knee problem today. So I'm gonna go over there and love on her a little bit, see if I can't help her get some chores done. And on the ride over, we'll look around and we'll talk about 10 things you can do that'll make you a better rider, safer rider in the rain. Who knows, we might even have a bonus or two. And phone call we got. It's gonna be some news that's coming up on some later episodes, but it's gonna be great because man, the things are happening. They're clicking. And it's all because of you. And it really is, because it's the engagement that you guys have on this channel. You are creating this. You don't realize how much impact you have on everything that happens on this channel, because you really, really do. And I'm not saying that just to pat you on the back or build you up, although it's true. And I do want to build you up because you're awesome. We'll talk about all that, much, much more right after this.
Woo! I'm sweating. Go for a ride. Enjoying the hot sunshine for a little while because it's been raining.
Have to reassemble my helmet.
It's hot. Let's go.
Assemble, disassemble, assemble, disassemble. How you feeling there, Coach Vic?
Great. Stopping my job for a couple hours to go for a ride. And what job is that? Oh, my weekly house, catching up for the week chores. It's Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. I'm going to try to make some videos. What I want to do is ride this, or get him to order some brakes to put on the CanAm. Coach Bob, you're slacking. You're slacking.
She calling me a slacker.
Going to see the daughter. The daughter has a hurt knee.
So as we roll out of our neighborhood today, we just realize how dadgum hot it really is today. Man, it is scorching out here. But we're looking forward to a little ride over to Baba's house, as I lovingly call my daughter. And I want to take this opportunity to remind you to hit that subscribe button, because when we hit 2,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a pair of those ShadyRays Sun Glasses, the kind I'm wearing in this video, except they'll be brand new, of course. So as Coach Vic starts yucking it up, let's prepare for the top 10 rain tips that I have for you. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and act like, hey, I'm reinventing the wheel or doing something that is like super heroic. I mean, most of these tips you probably already know, but as with anything in life, it's always good to be reminded and to think about these things when we ride. And just in case you didn't know, well, you might just learn something. So here we go. So number one is as plain as the nose on your face. The quote that I'm going to use to back this up is from a Clint Eastwood movie, Magnum Force, where he says this: a man's got to know his limitations. So whenever you're out riding and the weather starts doing weird things, you have to know your limitations and be honest with yourself. If you think that the weather is too bad for you to be riding in, then you need to stop and you don't need to feel ashamed of it. Check it out. Did you see the little dog? Check out the dog. So know your limitations. That is a good thing. And like I said, don't ever be embarrassed about what you have to do. And if you're riding with a group, either they can wait or they can leave you. And don't feel bad about that either. But don't try to keep up with someone. In virtually every accident that I have ever seen, it's always been multiple riders cruising together, and you have some really experienced faster guys running away from the less experienced slower guys. And the same will hold true in the weather if you try to ride beyond your limitations. So again, know your limits and don't be ashamed of it. Dirty Harry was right. So number 1, stop if you feel uncomfortable. A man's got to know his limitations. Number 2 is not a very obvious one, and one you would probably never really think about, but it really does add to your security and safety when you ride, because it takes away from a distraction, and a distracted rider is a very, very dangerous rider. So number 2 is buy real rain gear. Don't buy a poncho that's going to flap around over your head. Don't go to Walmart and buy the cheapest junk that you can buy that's going to shred when you're out in your first big rainstorm at 70 miles an hour. I remember years ago, me and a friend of mine named Dave, we rode over to Daytona, and it was a horrible, horrible storm, and he had a budget rain suit. And when we got there, it looked like he had orange flags tied all over his body. It was a very difficult ride for him. So buy real rain gear. It will make a difference in how safe you ride and the amount of focus that you're going to be able to have when you're driving down the road in inclement weather. So buy real rain gear, number 2. So number 3 kind of ties in with number 2. And we're not getting to the mechanical side of riding yet, but trust me, it's coming, so hang in there. Number 3, when you see the sign of bad weather up there and you know it's coming, go ahead and stop and put your rain gear on right then. If you have to take it off later because it doesn't end up being a monsoon, well, that's okay. But if you wait until the weather's bad and you end up pulling over on the side of a road when there's a blinding thunderstorm and that dump truck like the one right here runs over you and your wife, it's pretty ugly. So not just the mechanical side of riding creates a hazard when you're out in bad weather. The visibility of other drivers. So make sure that you go ahead and suit up before you're in the big storm. So number 3, put your gear on when you know you're about to get wet. We're not going to mess around here. Let's just jump right into number 4. Number 4, and this is really important, especially for us touring guys who are riding machines that have a lot of fancy, cool stuff on there. Do not, I repeat, do not run your cruise control. Man, when that tire breaks loose, it may try to accelerate. The motorcycle may get up on that plane of water and start to hydroplane, and then you're going to have to hit the brakes or do something to turn that cruise control off and put you in a very, very dangerous situation. So remember, when you're riding and the weather's bad, you need to be on total manual mode, paying very close attention to the feel of the road, not just under your hiney when you're rolling down the road, but the feeling as you're steering and as you're accelerating and decelerating. Pay very close attention to that, and never, never run your cruise control when it's bad weather. So number 5, we kind of touched on in number 4, and it's this. If you begin to hydroplane, do not slam on your brakes. Don't hit your brakes. Simply decelerate and allow the water to decelerate the machine as you come off the accelerator and push the water out from under the tires. If you hit the brakes, you're going to spin. And when you spin, it could be somewhat catastrophic. Understand this about the Spyder. As a guy coming from a 2-wheel background, when you ride down the road with 2 wheels, you have one wheel directly in front of the other. That creates this trench that the front wheel is cutting, and then the back tire is rolling through it. With the Spyder, you don't have that. You have 3 wheels, all occupying a different plane as they go through the water. What this does is it gives you a lot of surface patch on the road, and when the pavement is dry, man, that's an excellent effect because it allows you a more sensitive steering, the possibility of stopping a little more rapidly. because all three of those tires are going to stop turning. But what it does in the rain is it gives you more surface patch. It creates a lighter machine with more surface, which allows it to get on top of the water. And any of us who have ridden in the bad weather on the Spyder know that it is a little prone to hydroplane, and that you cannot avoid the trenches in the road because you're covering the entire lane. And if you're pulling a trailer, that only compounds the problem. So remember, if and when you hydroplane, and it really is more when you hydroplane, don't slam on your brakes, simply decelerate, hold a line, and that is going to lead us into number 6, which is do not make abrupt maneuvers. Now, for more experienced riders, I know what you're saying. You're not really telling me anything new, but let me explain this. Anytime you are teaching someone a skill, and riding a motorcycle is a skill, one of the things that you have to build in there is the ability to not panic. And slamming on brakes and abrupt maneuvers are panic moves. And panic moves will get you killed. For an example, this past week I was driving to take care of my mother over in Valdosta, and I had 2 deer run out in front of my car. I wasn't on the motorcycle. The first deer, I could tell I'm going to miss this guy. But the second one, there's only 2 ways to miss him. One is to run into the other lane, into oncoming traffic, and the other was to run off into the ditch, which had giant oak trees in it. And I knew that either one of those moves would get me killed. So I slowed down as rapidly as I could and hit the deer. It was not fun, and I'm glad I wasn't on a motorcycle, I can assure you of that. But a young person who's inexperienced, who may have panicked, could have very easily veered into oncoming traffic or run off into the ditch and hit a tree. And those things are life enders. So when I tell you about abrupt maneuvers and those things, a lot of accidents occur because of people panicking. So make sure you work on your skill sets, practice stopping, practice maneuvering in dry weather, and go out on wet roads, more isolated areas, parking lots, and see how the Spyder behaves in inclement weather. It's really important. It could save your life. So do not make abrupt maneuvers. Before we get to number 7, I just want to take this opportunity again to ask you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. We really do appreciate it, and everything you do helps the channel grow. Again, we're getting ready to give some stuff away. And I also want to show you something that is kind of special to me. It's right up here on the left. Just off in the distance there is the Tallahassee Regional Air Traffic Control Tower. And that's the tower that I worked at. And this is the airport that I was an air traffic control supervisor at. It was a wonderful career for the Federal Aviation Administration, and for all of the guys that are out there vectoring airplanes all over the sky today, I salute you. Thank you for your service in making sure that the flying public gets to their place on time and safely. Thank you, Federal Aviation Administration. All right, so enough of the stroll down memory lane. But I do want to share one other little tidbit of information. The phone call that I got earlier at the beginning of this video was from one of the owners of Slingmods. His name is Keith Ramirez, and he is a really, really nice guy. And we're going to have some Slingmod giveaways coming up real soon. We're going to have a bonus episode this week where we're going to talk a little bit about Slingmods, who they are, and what they're going to do for you. Yes, for you, because they're offering something really quite special for me to give to you. So we're going to talk about that in a bonus video. Should be out Monday morning, and just be watching for that. It's going to be something super short, sweet and simple, and clear and concise, just like you would expect. I would share more, but I really don't know a lot more yet. But I'm expecting an email and a couple of more calls, and we're going to get all this stuff figured out. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that in the next few episodes. You're going to be able to get some free stuff, and that's going to be really cool for you. All right, so let's keep on rolling with what we are supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do when it's raining. So first off, we're going to say this: start your stop early. That's right. Start your stop early. It seems kind of commonsensical. I know that. But you know how easy it is to rapidly close that rate on a vehicle. We've all done it. You're driving down the road and you've been on the highway all day. So you're going 60 to 80 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, you look down at the speedometer and you see the guy in front of you is stopping and you're like, uh-oh, I'm going way too fast, because your perception of speed has changed because you're traveling, you're touring. So what you need to do is get on those brakes a little early and be very, very aware of how fast you're going and how fast the Spyder can stop. This is really not only critical when it's heavy rain, but when it's any rain. For those of us in the motorcycle world, certainly two-wheelers, you know that right after it rains and the oil kind of rises to the top of that water, you see it looks like rainbows in the water. That's that motor oil from all of those vehicles sitting there on the surface of the road, just waiting to have your tire break loose. And stopping can become almost an impossibility. And cornering can be really scary. So remember, start your braking early, start your deceleration early, pay very, very close attention to your speed, because it's easy to get lulled into that false sense of security that you're not going as fast as you thought you were. So start your stop early.
It's 102. Woo! And 95% humidity.
All right, so let's cruise on up here to Baba's house and help her with her sore knee out and do a few things for her and get Coach Vic unloaded off of this CanAm Spyder, cool off in some air conditioning. We'll get back on the road in a few, and we'll hit those last 3 tips for stopping in the rain, riding in the rain, and being safe in the rain.
Touch of shade. Cheer up.
Woo! Hotty patati.
Yes, it is. What's up, man?
What up, man?
I'm gonna come off on the water bottle side this time.
Alright.
Drop this down here.
Alright, what are you talking about?
Woo. Set it in the trailer back there, man.
Okay.
I didn't know we were gonna have a cold front coming through. Oh!
Oh my goodness.
All right, so this is Coach Vic's kind of custom-made ramp here. Certainly not ADA compliant, that's for sure. Be a little too steep, but that's all right. What's up, Baba? Woo! It's hot. All right, let's see here. He's gonna drop Vicky. I'll get her. We're gonna go backwards. Well, that was spooky. Woo! Was that fun, Vic?
Not really. You want to watch?
Woo!
Yeah, I'm sweating. Hotty patati.
102 and 95% humidity. You ought to be sweating.
I am.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's do some stairs. Just a couple of them.
Woo!
Boom.
Oh.
2. Boom.
Oh.
There you go. Now I'm gonna roll you out
All the
here.
way out there. All the way out.
All the way. All the way. That's it. All right. There you
Oh,
go.
it feels so good out here now. Except on my side guards on my chair.
Well, I don't know where your side guards are.
So I'm on the ground.
Oh, okay.
On the floor.
On the flow. Let the side guards hit the floor. Let the side guards hit the floor. You remember that song? Let the
No,
bodies
I
hit the
don't.
floor. Okay.
No.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Lock the brakes. There you go. All right, so a security guard just came by and asked if Coach Vic was my daughter.
Awesome. Yes, I got mistaken for the daughter. How cool is that?
Come on,
Can
honey.
you lift me uphill?
I don't know there, honey. Your dad's getting old.
I either look younger or you look older. I'll take I look younger.
2, 3. Oh, that's hard. That was not easy that time.
Well, I'm stilted. I'm stilted. I'm tilted.
Slide back there, Clyde. I don't want to pinch your sweet little legs, honey. My daughter, my little girl. All right, Coach.
Where's my sunglasses?
I think they're on your head. Oh,
Ah, it hurts sometimes.
oh, you can't get that on your head.
Well, I try to get my hair, it bothers me.
Your helmet's a triple extra large, right?
Whatever.
Oh, I love you there, Coach.
So Coach Vic did a little cooking for Alibaba and made her feel a lot better, so mission accomplished. And we're going to pick up with number 8. And number 8 is going to seem a little counterintuitive, but please bear with me on this one. Lower your windshield. Yes, I actually said lower your windshield. What that does is it allows the wind to hit the face shield of your helmet. And if you don't lower your windshield, then what ends up occurring is your face shield accumulates water, and that water just sits there impeding your vision. So you want that wind pushing the water off of the face shield on your helmet. And it also helps with that rain that just seems to circulate up there in the cockpit and allows it to blow over your head. And it also gives you a greater sense of what is actually going on with the weather. You know, you do kind of that sound resonates on the old noggin. But that is something that I have noticed has increased my visibility greatly when I ride with the windshield lowered a little bit. And it really does. It just blows all the rain right off there. So lower that old windshield. Which brings us to number 9. Carry a rag. Always have a rag that you can have handy. As things happen in that cockpit, your face shield is going to get hammered with rain. You're going to have water all over the instruments and all over everything. And having a rag that you just kind of have right there between your legs makes things a lot easier. It is certainly more simple to keep up with everything in the cockpit if you can read it. And a little rag right there can make a lot of difference. It's like having functional windshield wipers on a car. So just carry a little rag, nothing fancy there, nothing high tech. I just carry a little microfiber and it absorbs a ton of water, and it is very, very helpful in keeping my visibility at the best it can be. Well, that's 9 of the 10. I hope you found this useful, and it has been a good reminder of some things that you might have forgotten or might not have even realized how important some of these things are. And they can save your life. Something so simple, something so small can make such a big difference in your level of safety. Which brings us to number 10. And I would say that of all of them, for me, this has been the one thing that I have learned over the last year. Stop when the pillion slant passenger is uncomfortable. That's right, stop when they're uncomfortable. The last thing you want to do is scare your passenger. You know, that's the difference between a wife or a girlfriend or a spouse just saying, I don't want to ride with you anymore, because you don't know when to stop. You don't know when enough is enough, and I feel like you put my life in danger, and I don't want to do this anymore. And I can tell you that fear is unbelievable when it comes to motorcycles. I can't tell you the number of people whom I have met who say, I would love to go for a ride with you, but I had someone when I was 19, when I got on the back of their motorcycle, they just wouldn't slow down, and it scared me to death. And my fear is so great that I just can't do it. So don't scare your passenger. Always be a courteous driver. It really is a very big deal, especially us gentlemen, when we always want to push the envelope. So be sensitive to your passenger and stop when they're uncomfortable. So there you have it. 10 simple things that will make you and your pillion's life a lot better in bad weather. I hope you enjoyed the list, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And tune back in on Monday morning, where we will be discussing Slingmod.com or Slingmods, their store, and what they are going to provide for the Coach Bob 3 channel to share with you. We are greatly appreciated for the hand of kindness that they have extended in our way. I look forward to sharing a little bit about their company, the background of their company, and exactly what they want to do and what their passion is. They are really wonderful people, and it was awesome to talk to them today. So remember this until next time, what I want you to do. Go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day. We'll talk to you soon.